family, we're about to get crazy. What if Naruto was the son of Kisame? You know, this guy right here. So basically, Naruto is going to be a top rank ninja in Konoha. He's going to be feared. He's going to be known as Silent Killer Naruto. No, the Silent Killer Zabuza. Yes, his name is going to be Zabuza. We're going to erase Zabuza from history, and instead, Zabuza's name is going to be Naruto. And Kushina and what's her name are still going to have children, but instead of them being, like the regular, they're going to be, oh my gosh, the kid's name is going to be Menma that Kushina and Namikaze had. So we're going to start this at the mission where Menma's panting as he's on the bridge. Then, all of a sudden, a guy with a ginormous sword then comes out of nowhere as he says, "I figured you would need me, Kakashi." As Kakashi then looks, as he then says, "Ugh, it's been a long time, Silent Killer Zabuza." As Naruto, aka the Zabuza, I know it's really confusing, I know. As all of a sudden, I didn't at this point, I don't have my ginormous sword, as I then say to Zabuza, "Zabuza, I think it's time for me to retrieve what's mine." As he then points at his sword. "Oh, you're not gonna get this back. You'd have to kill me." Okay. I'm okay with that. Now, two-sword style. Dragon Whip. As he then rushes at Zabuza, and Zabuza's about to use his blade, but he's been stabbed in the arm by Kakashi. As he's then cut in the chest by Naruto. Yeah, we're gonna call Naruto still, so there's no confusion. As he then coughs out blood, he says, "You're gonna pay for that." And then Zabuza then falls on the ground with Haku saying, "No, Zabuza, Zabuza." As just watching Anime King, you wanna hear? Being back. Yeah. As Haku then comes as she rushes up to Naruto. Naruto picks up the Executioner's blade as he says, "Executioner's justice." As he swings it around, and then he cut Haku right in the chest. As all of a sudden, Kisame then appears as he says, Kisame with Itachi then, as everyone looks at him in shock, they say, this is the power of the great killer Zabuza. As Saruto, so Menma asks Naruto if he can train with him. Naruto says, "Oh yeah, of course you can. What, you want to learn the arts of the sword?" "Well, I'm not really that fond on the sword. I'd like to, do over attack moves, power moves, things like that." Okay. First we're gonna have to check your chakra natures. Okay. Water, wind, fire? That's a shocking one. So water, wind, and fire. Okay. We're gonna train you in those 3 elements. Now, come on. As they train and they keep training, Jiraiya then suddenly comes in, and then he takes over the training from Zabuza. Jirai, seeing that this is a much more advanced Menma, decides that thinks that it would be best if Menma trains with his original master at the same time with Jiraiya so he can improve faster. At the Chunin exams, everything goes the same, but Menma defeats Neji a little bit more easily. So he didn't get all of his chakra points closed off, but he got like half of them, like 75 or a good 85% of them closed off, and then he beat Neji with a swift attack by putting explosions behind him, then throwing a couple kunai right in front of him, which pierced his shoulder, and then he gave him all of that, and then he gave him the infamous talk no jutsu. I'm trying to wonder right now, why do they call it talk no jutsu? Like, it's not even a style. Like, I think, no, Luffy does not have talk no jutsu, which is weird. Deku does not have. The only person in the entire anime universe who has talk no jutsu and is as skilled at the art of talk no jutsu is Naruto. You know why? Because it came from him. I'm just kidding. It actually came from another anime. But just I'm sorry for interrupting, but do y'all want me to do what if Deku had gloves? So I'm just gonna give you a quick briefing. He's going to be able to create big energy blasts. It's kind of like the Akatsuki. Like, think about that. He can absorb your attacks. He can do magic, like stuff like that. Those are what the gloves are. Trickery, like stuff like that. So comment down below in the comment section if you want that. So then the entire Konoha attack happens. Everything goes the same, but then we're going to go to the part where we have Kakashi. Not Guy yet, but Kakashi and a couple other ninja. Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma with Naruto. Naruto looks exactly like Zabuza, so don't worry, nothing's gonna be changing. As Naruto then asks Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai. No, we need to split up in groups. Kurenai, Kakashi, since Itachi's specialty is Genjutsu, and Kakashi has the Sharingan, and Kurenai's specialty is Genjutsu, y'all go and fight Kakashi. Wait, but now that I think about, as Kakashi then says, wait, but if you think about it, isn't that not wise? Listen. If we both go up against Itachi, it'll just be the inevitable. We wouldn't be able to overpower him with our Genjutsu. That's how strong he is. If we go against someone who is completely Genjutsu weak, and you go against Itachi, we'll probably have a better chance, seeing that the odds are stacked against them in different ways. As Naruto thinks about this, that's not a bad plan, but I'm sorry. For once, I'm letting my feelings get in the way. As he then gets in a position and he says, I'm gonna kill Kisame Hoshigaki, my father. As Naruto is 19 in this one. As Kakashi then says, well, it seems we can't stop you. As Kisame then says, and what makes you think that you can defeat me? Oh, it's because I'm going to be using the special style. Are you talking about the infamous three sword style? The one and only. As he then holds the executioner blade in one hand. Then he takes out... wait, how many katanas does he have? It does not look like he has two. It just looks like that's just another pack. As... Okay, so how should I do this? He's gonna have to use both of his hands to hold the executioner blade. So he uses both... So he uses one of his hands. And then... He takes the other as he puts it in his mouth. And he has the other sword. He says, I've two legendary swords up against your one. I have the legendary sword Menma, wielded by the great Kazuki Oden. So yes, I'm gonna be putting Kazuki Oden in this. So basically, Kazuki Oden was in Hashirama's time the strongest swordsman. And he could rival the strength of Hashirama and the top Kage. As Zabuza and Kisame then rush at each other, Kisame automatically turning Samehara into this ginormous blade that you see on the screen. As they then go clash, then all of a sudden, they're both then sent flying back as Asuma then comes in with a punch with his brass knuckles. And then all of a sudden, Samehara tries to steal his chakra, but then Zabuza comes in with a side slash, and as he then yells, "Three sword style, dragon slumber slash!" As this attack then goes flying at Kisame. Kisame just puts his blade in front of him, thinking that there's going to be chakra to absorb. But then when he sees that Samehara is not absorbing anything, he then says, "Oh, so that's your width and strength. You're not using your attacks at your full power because you know Samehara's abilities." "Oh yes, I know it, but I can catch you off guard." As in this one, Naruto has half of the two. Wait, should I do that? That sounded weird. Naruto has half of the two tails, as this was sealed in him with Yujito. As he then says, "Let's wait." Oh no, he doesn't have the two tails at all. So he basically killed a dragon. It was called the Kaido dragon. So he basically killed the dragon emperor, and then he became the big bad. And that's how he got his name, Killer Zabuza, or Dragon Zabuza. As flames then fire on his body, as his skin then starts to turn scaly. Then Kisame then starts to turn into Shark Samehara, with Zabuza saying, "Asuma, you stay back. Go help Kurenai. You can't deal. Go now." As he then goes to help, yeah. And then Naruto and Kisame then rush at each other as they clash blades, which this rumbles the water. As Kisame then casts hand signs for the water style, water dragon jutsu. As all of a sudden, Zabuza casts hand signs for the water style, whirlpool jutsu. As the water starts to then swirl up, as the water dragon tries to come out, but then it gets swirled up by the water. The others then jump off, but then Zabuza adds more chakra as he says, "Take him down!" And then all of a sudden, some of this chakra is being sucked in by Samehara, but it's damaged Kisame. As Zabuza then puts his other swords in his pouch and okay, how am I gonna do this? No, he then puts his other swords in his pouch as he then goes rushing at Kisame as they're then clashing blades. Kisame then jumps back as Zabuza does the same, and then they then both cast hand signs for a water style, water dragon jutsu, as their jutsus both then collide simultaneously. And as Zabuza jumps in the air, and then he yells, fire style. As he yells, water style, water bobcat firebomb. Now, yeah, it's a mixture of blue fire with a bobcat and water. As this thing goes flying at Kisame, as he then sucks it all in, and then he becomes stronger. He says, "That was foolish, Zabuza. That was foolish, Naruto." As he then jumps in the air, and he then slashes over at Naruto, and he actually gets Naruto right in his gut. As Naruto then drops the executioner's blade, as Kakashi then picks it up. And then he says, "Hey, Zabuza, not to sound selfish, but can I please use your executioner's blade for a couple of minutes?" Go ahead. As he then takes out Enma and Kizaru, he then says, "You're gonna have to fight the Holy Light Sword and the Dragon Enma." As they then both go rushing at each other, as he clashes with Samehara, which Samehara is a couple of its scales then start to break off, as they're both then sent flying, and Zabuza then comes rushing at Kisame, and then he says, as he then goes for a kick to Kisame's head, but Kisame punches him away. Zabuza then says, It seems I don't have a choice." You see, I'm a Hoshigaki. My mother's is a Momochi. As Zabuza then unwraps his bandages, he had the sword in his mouth. It doesn't matter. I don't have to explain. As he then unwraps his bandages around his mouth, and then he wraps it around his sword and mouth. And you then see his demonic teeth as he yells, "You're gonna die here, father! Now, water style, great shark and BVS Mirage!" As oversized sharks then go rushing at Kisame. As Kisame tries to dodge them, but he can't dodge all of them. And then, as Naruto then casts hand signs for water style, water dragon jet missile jutsu, as he then yells, "Water style, water dragon jet missile jutsu." Oh dang it, I forgot. Sorry. As this then hits Kisame, and Kisame is now on one knee, as he then coughs out a little bit of blood. Then Zabuza says, "Oh, what's up, father?" As he then touches the ground, and then all of a sudden Sharkmen then start to emerge as they then go rushing at Zabuza. At what's his name? And then he says, "Kakashi, I'm gonna need that sword back." Okay, as he then throws it at Zabuza. Zabuza then informs his body inside, his body then turns into scales as he starts to look like a dragon. And then, no, yeah, and then he said, I've been summoning I've been hogging this attack as my trump card to kill you. Only few have got to see this move. And you know what? They're all dead. As he then says, Dragon Emperor, physicist, Chung Chun Bar. As he then whispers, King Gong, Gong Slice. as he then slices this at Kisame. Zabuza also holds. Naruto also holds the record for the strongest swordsman in the world. As Kisame uses his strong attack, but this isn't enough. As he's injured, highly injured, and he's barely getting up. He can barely fend for himself. As he then gets gashed in the gut, in the chest, and then all of a sudden, let's just say, wait, no, think that would happen. Yeah, that wouldn't happen yet. And then Guy comes out of nowhere as he says, "Springtime of youth." As he then looks over at where Zabuza is, and he sees Zabuza walking over to his father, as he says, "Hey, what's Zabuza doing?" "Finally, I will rid you from this earth." As he then goes to clash down on Kisame, but then all of a sudden, who can I use? Sasori then comes out of nowhere as he catches Zabuza with his puppets, and Zabuza says, "Who are you, damn it?" As Kisame then coughs out more blood after more blood and blood and blood. As y'all gotta remember, Kisame is way older than this one because he had his son at 20 years old, so he's 39 right now. Almost 40. As Naruto then jumps back, and Sasori then says, "Itachi, we need to get out of here. Kisame is heavily injured." "Oh, what are you doing, damn it!" As we then skip back to when they get to the village. No attack happened on Naruto because Kisame is out for the count, and with Asanin, then a couple of Anbu with the Anbu fleet captain, aka Zabuza or Naruto, watching Menma. Oh my gosh, watching Menma. They can't go and try to attack. So they say. So we then go to the Akatsuki hideout, as Pain says. We will retaliate. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna have to bring this mic closer. "We will retaliate for now, but when the time comes, we will strike the Jinchuriki and kill him. Is that affirmative?" Yes. As we then go back to the council as Menma's back in the village and Naruto's just there. He says, "So why the hell did y'all ask me to come up here? Mind your words. Just because you're as strong as the Sannin doesn't mean that just because you're as strong as a Kage doesn't mean that you can talk down to us. We'll get on with it, damn it." As the elders and the head clans then say, then just growl. As they say, "You see, you're the village hero. And as of right now, you are the strongest person in the village. We also have Jiraiya, but you and him are about the same strength. And we're just gonna say that you are the strongest person in the village. So get to the damn point." "Shut up, you insolent brat." Hamura says, I don't know, Hamura, the guy, says. As Zabuza is then right behind Hamura with his executioner's blade to Hamura's neck. "Like you said, I'm the strongest one in this village." "When did he move?" "You know me as the Silver Flash. Just because I'm the Silver Flash of the Leaf doesn't mean that... just because I'm the blue... Okay, just be more like turquoise. Just because I'm the blue flash of the leaf doesn't mean that I am opposed to become the Kage. Or, as Anime King says, Cage. I still don't understand that. But doesn't mean that I am inaugurated to be the Kage. Well, yes, you are. Or if it's not you, it could always be me. As then, like, Zabuza's been having his spies on Danzo for the past 2 years now, ever since he became the Ambu fleet captain. And he's been really suspicious. What would it be so bad if I became the Kage? There might be a solution. Okay, I'll become the Fifth Hokage. But, and as my first deed as the new Fifth Hokage, I will be ordering Tsunade to come to this village immediately. I'm going to be changing the border support. This time, instead of only two Anbu at each section of the village, we're going to have 4. And we're going to have 6 of Danzo's root agents at the outskirts, like a couple miles away from the village, just to guard and pick up information. And the clan heads are always assembled to have some information. It doesn't really matter. We are going to get all of the shinobi who are with the Leaf or have alliances with the Leaf are ordered to come immediately. If they refuse, they will be marked as S-rank ninja. As the elders then smile, and like, because he's like, Danzo is the devil, but then this guy is like the nice guy. Like, he's nothing compared to Danzo. It's just that he's fierce and stuff. Oh, and also my Ambus. What should I should give them a name. My seed Ambus. My seed Ambus are officially ordered to kill anyone who is not with the Leaf at full sight. On each mission, we will have at least one Ambu track where the Chunin or Jonin goes to make sure they're okay, or to see if they are traitors to the village. We don't want anything to happen like what happened with Mitsuki, as we then have a flashback. After Menma defeated Mitsuki tried to break out of the prison, but then Zabuza came and slashed Mitsuki across the chest 3 times, as Mitsuki then died. So, my inauguration is going to happen today, because tomorrow I'm going to be very busy. But we haven't even I don't really care about the village celebrating my inauguration. We were just in the middle of a civilized war. Inauguration is the last thing we should be worrying about. And this is where I'm going to be ending off this. What if? Like, comment, subscribe, share to all of your friends on your social media platforms. YouTube, we're up. Peace.